Married men of Reddit, at what point did you know that you were going to marry the girl you were dating? H and I had been dating for a couple years. We were set up on a blind date by my college friend's then-girlfriend, who had gone to high school with H. We'd been together for about 2.5 to 3 years. She transferred from her community college to my university for our third year. Then we moved into a townhouse-style dorm, meant more for students with families, but open to 2 students even if they weren't married, got our first cat, etc., and had been living there for the better part of a year. Now, in all this time, H was extremely quiet when it came to her past. She seemed to hate communicating with certain members of her family, wasn't all that intimate, and just kind of kept to herself most of the time. We'd have great conversations about things, talk about classes and thoughts on current events, but when it came to her past, nothing. In spite of this, I was head over heels for her. While I've always worn my heart on my sleeve, with her it was different. A real connection, the kind where you can communicate without words at times, was what I felt we had. So, I saved up what little earnings I was getting from my crappy part-time jobs and, together with a bit from leftovers from a student loan distribution, I had enough to buy an engagement ring. Now to figure out a way to propose. One night before she went in for bed, I always stay up a bit later than she does. She comes into the office for a kiss and to wish me good night. Then she hands me this letter and hurries down the hall for bed. I open it, and on that single piece of paper was almost everything about her past. Her issues with her family. Her less than wholesome past as she tried to cope with a harsh life in your typical small-town high school filled with bitches and bullies. The entirety of what happened with her diagnosis with type 1 diabetes. How one member of her family went off the religious deep end and tried to run her life for her. I could tell she was still holding some things back, but that was okay. There's always more time, and when she was ready, she eventually told me the rest. I got the ring out of my coat pocket, walked into the bedroom, and knelt next to her. She was scared, more scared than I'd ever seen her. Scared of what I'd think of the note, of her past. I bumbled my way through some reassurances and thanked her for sharing her past with me. I told her how much it meant, and said something about how her sharing her past made me want us to share our future, and proposed. After about 5 solid minutes of crying, she eventually said yes. We got married in the fall of 2007, the semester before I graduated. That was 5.5 years ago, and our first baby is due in July, a boy. Can't wait to continue our future together. Edit. I still have the letter, too. It's gonna go in the scrapbook we keep putting off.